Hey everyone, it's me Josh here again, and I'm here to wrap up my Harry Potter series reviews with the Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Deathly Hallows Part 2. For the longest time I decided whether or not should I review these separately or both together. So I decided the best way to do it was do them both together. So that would cause me to not reviewing both of them individually, but who knows, we'll tell by the end of this video. So anyways, let's get into the movie. Before I talk about the movie, I will be talking about some of the production history on this film. So the idea to divide J.K. Rowling's last book into two parts came from the executive producer Lionel Wigram. Then David Heyman said how they're going to do it. So after he reread the book and discussed with Steve Kloves, Deathly Hallows was shot back to back and treated as if they were one film. And then the Warner Bros. Press release executive Jeff Robinov said, in concluding the film franchise, we recognize that Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows is packed with vital plot points that complete the story arcs of all of its beloved characters. And that said, we feel the best way to do it, and as many fans justice, is to expand the adaptation of the movie and release the film into two parts. So one part will be released in 2010, and the other part will be released in summer 2011. Both directed by David Yates with a $250 million budget. So, the plot of Deathly Hallows Part 1 is, without the guidance and production of the professors, including Professor Dumbledore, if you guys didn't see the last movie, Harry, Ron, and Hermione begins a mission to destroy the Horcruxes, which are the sources of Voldemort's immortality. And though they must rely on one another more than ever, dark forces threaten to tear them apart, and Voldemort's deaf ears have seized control of the Ministry of Magic and Hogwarts, and they are searching for Harry even as he and his friends prepare for the ultimate showdown. So basically part 1 is basically the setup. They have to go get the Horcruxes. They do and get one from a returning member from Order of the Phoenix, Dolores Umbridge, and so they do have to, and then they have to destroy him as Voldemort's deaf ears has seized control over them. And so that's basically the plot of Deathly Hallows Part 1. And then you get on to Part 2, and we pick up right where Deathly Hallows Part 1 lives off. So in Deathly Hallows Part 2, the final fight between good and evil begins as young Harry, Ron, and Hermione prepares for the final battle against Lord Voldemort. Harry has grown into a steely lad on a mission into the world of evil, and the friends must search for the Horcruxes that keep the dastardly wizard immortal. Harry and Voldemort meet at Hogwarts Castle for an epic showdown where the forces of darkness and good may finally meet their match. And so basically part 2 is the battle. The whole movie is the battle. You got action, destruction, people dying everywhere. And that's not a spoiler, that is basically the movie. Now, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, this movie, I do love both parts of this movie. Now, Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 1 is my 7th least favorite Harry Potter movie. I don't hate it, I still love the movie, but it gets a little slow. It gets a little bit boring in some parts of the movie, but I still have fun with the movie. I still love the movie. And so Part 1, when I first saw it, I did find myself a little bit bored by it, but I still also have fun while watching the movie. And this movie, what I really enjoy about this movie is that it sets up the final battle of Deathly Hallows Part 1, and it gets ready to wrap up the battle against good and evil in the film, and just You get the whole movie for 2 hours and 26 minutes. You get a lot of character development, you get a lot of story, you get a lot of more character development, and you also get the last appearance of the Dursleys, thank goodness. You also get some new characters. You got Riz Ifans as Xenophilius Lovegood, which is the father of Luna. John Hurt as Garrick Ollivander. You also get you get a lot of new characters in here. You also get Bill Nye. Yes, Victor from Underworld himself is in this movie, and I didn't know who that was for the longest time until I looked it up, and I would forget. Oh yeah, that's Bill Nye. It's cool, Underworld character in here. So yeah, that was great seeing him in this film, and that was great. I really do like all the new characters. You get just all these new characters in this movie. It's just awesome. A bunch of new characters. You're getting a lot of setup, and this doesn't have a whole lot of action. There is an action scene at the beginning, and there is action here and there, but mostly the movie focuses on the story, and I like that the movie focuses on story. Cinematography in this movie looks very nice. I love the production design of this movie. The costumes that the characters wear are great. I just love it. I love the wedding scene in this movie, because it's a very touching scene, but also action happens. But the one scene that I was not expecting was the scene where Ron and Harry are arguing and Hermione is trying to stop them from arguing. So that scene was kind of like really unexpected for me to see it, and when they argue that's a very touching and very heartbreaking scene, because Harry and Ron, they've been friends since the first movie, and he's wearing the Horcrux, and so yeah, the friendship falls apart until he eventually comes back and helps them destroy the Horcrux. But they also get captured, and then Dobby comes to save them. And I won't say what happens to Dobby because I don't want to give away spoilers. You have to watch the movie to see what happens. But everything else is great. I like the acting in Deathly Hallows Part 1. I think the acting in this movie is great. I think Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, Emma Watson is mainly just them for the whole movie, so they get a lot of screen time together, and I think that's where the movie excels. And the score by Alexandre Desplat, I love the score, especially Snape to Malfoy Manor. The cinematography is also awesome. This movie is it is my least favorite, but I still enjoy this movie nonetheless. I'm one of those people who do like the setup. I like that with part ones you have to set the story up in order to get the big battle come. So for that, I will give Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 an Epic-tastic with my JD Rainbow Seal of Approval. So yeah, guys, I will see you guys for Deathly Hallows Part 2, and so here we go. Now, Deathly Hallows Part 2, on the other hand, it was a very satisfying conclusion. It was very satisfying for me to see these characters that I've grown up with since 2001 and have a very satisfying conclusion. So, Deathly Hallows Part 2, the whole movie is just action. The action just builds up. It's awesome. I love it. This movie got a lot of good praise. The visual effects are great. The visual effects are just fantastic in this movie. And this was the highest grossing movie of 2011. The highest grossing film in the series to reach over $1 billion by the end of its theatrical run. And it got several awards and nominations including nominations for Academy Awards for Best Direction, Best Special Effects, Best Makeup and Hairstyling. And this one is 2 hours and 10 minutes, so this is really the shortest one out of the entire series. And this film was just very satisfying. I remember watching this movie when I first owned it, and just the movie, I was sitting there just really engaged by the movie. I did get a little shocked by a lot of the character deaths in this movie, and just the whole movie was just very awesome. I just couldn't get control how much I was loving the movie. Because the trailers, I first watched the trailers, and then I was just very excited to see how this series will go out, because I am a long time Harry Potter fan since 2001, as I said. And just the movie is just great all the way around. The acting is great. Alan Rickman, Ralph Fiennes, Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, Emma Watson, Warwick Davis, John Hurt, everyone is a standout in this movie. No one feels weakened, and you also get Ciaran Hinds as Aberforth Dumbledore. More new characters in here, and just the action in this movie. The production sets are great. The Hogwarts set, Hogwarts gets blown up. It's a lot of action. It's fighting, CGI all the way around. The Battle of Hogwarts was probably the toughest scene for the filmmakers to do when they were doing this. That is hard work. That is amazing. That is, especially for $250 million, which will share with Part 1, because both of these movies have the same exact budget, and it shows, because the movie looks stunning. The cinematography is fantastic. I love the musical score in here. Alexandra Desplat did a really great job. You also got some old themes from the Blood Prince and the classic Hedwig's theme by John Williams. That was fantastic to hear in this movie. I was just so blown out of my mind when watching this movie, and I'm still blown out of my mind. And the direction, David Yates knows what he was doing with the movie. The directing is so fantastic. I love the action sequences in here. My favorite part of this movie is at the end, when Harry and Voldemort have that final fight. When they're jumping off the balcony and Harry says, "Come on, Tom, let's finish this the way we started, together." But sadly, they kept cut out the one line when Voldemort says, "Why do you live?" And then Harry says, "Because I have something worth living for." I would like to hear that in the movie, but the movie was only 2 hours and 10 minutes, so basically that was it was so jaw-breaking. It was so awesome to see all of these characters get their final story arcs, and see all these characters that we've grown to love get the send-off that they needed. And when you get to the end scene, spoilers if you haven't seen it, but I have to talk about this. The 19 years later scene was kept in the movie. I wasn't sure if that was going to be kept in the movie, but when I saw the movie, I was like, yes, you kept it in. Thank you. And you get to see all of the characters. They're married and they have their own kids, and they're going to Hogwarts school. So, and that was basically just the best way to end the movie out. You see, this is how you do a part 1 and part 2. Part set up and then give action. That is how it's done, and I appreciate that. And my rating for Deathly Hallows Part 2 is going to be the same rating. My JD Rainbow Seal of approval with an Epic-tastic. So, that is the end of my Harry Potter reviews. I hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to my review of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them coming November next month. I will do a ranking of the Harry Potter series this month as well. And what do you think of Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2? Do you like them? Do you hate them? I'll see you guys next time. Bye.